Justice begins with a question: what is true? Across history, societies have struggled to answer this question, shaping systems of evidence, investigation, and judgment that reflect their fears, values, and technologies. The evolution of judicial evidence and forensic methods reveals not only how crimes are solved, but how power defines truth itself. In ancient societies, justice relied almost entirely on human perception. Eyewitness testimony, oaths, and reputation determined guilt or innocence. Memory and status mattered more than facts. Confessions were often extracted through coercion or ritual, and divine judgment was invoked to settle uncertainty. Truth was personal, subjective, and deeply tied to belief. During the medieval period, legal procedures became more formal but no less brutal. Trials by ordeal, torture, and forced confession were accepted methods of proof. Pain was believed to reveal truth, and innocence was tested through survival rather than evidence. Written records were rare, and justice served authority more than fairness. The courtroom was a place of power, not investigation. As societies entered the early modern era, reason slowly replaced ritual. Courts began to value written documentation, witness consistency, and procedural rules. Evidence became something that could be recorded, compared, and debated. The idea of due process emerged, separating accusation from judgment. Still, errors were common, and justice remained uneven and deeply influenced by class and politics. The 19th century marked a turning point. Science entered the courtroom. Fingerprints, ballistics, blood analysis, and crime scene investigation transformed how guilt was determined. For the first time, evidence could speak independently of testimony. Forensic science promised objectivity, shifting justice away from confession and toward physical proof. By 2025, justice systems rely on complex networks of data. DNA profiling, digital footprints, surveillance footage, and algorithmic analysis shape investigations. Evidence is no longer scarce, it is overwhelming. Courts struggle not to find information, but to interpret it fairly. Bias moves from human witnesses into datasets and software, raising new questions about transparency and accountability. As technology advances, justice becomes increasingly automated. By the 22nd and 23rd centuries, artificial intelligence assists in evidence evaluation, risk assessment, and sentencing recommendations. Courts rely on predictive models to estimate future behavior. The boundary between judgment and probability begins to blur. Justice shifts from reacting to crimes to managing risk. Around the year 2600, traditional trials become rare. Continuous monitoring, behavioral analytics, and early intervention prevent many crimes before they occur. Guilt is no longer a moment, but a trajectory. Legal systems focus on correction rather than punishment, guided by models that optimize social stability. Individual responsibility becomes a shared calculation between person and system. By 3600, justice operates at a societal level. Crime is treated as systemic failure rather than moral wrongdoing. Evidence exists as streams of behavioral data, and intervention is subtle, constant, and invisible. The courtroom disappears, replaced by ongoing governance of behavior. Finally, by the year 5500, justice is no longer an institution but a condition. Evidence, law, and enforcement are embedded into civilization itself. Whether this represents ultimate fairness or ultimate control remains unresolved. The evolution of justice shows that as tools become more precise, the definition of truth grows more complex. The pursuit of justice never ends, it only changes form.